do so many things in my life. So I just want to kind of give back to the youth of today. One of the things that we also had an opportunity to just share in other areas of youth lives, such as Boy Scouts, and we mentioned earlier also basketball, and whatever that we felt that would contribute to the value of life for young men. We've tried to participate in. Also, we've attended many workshops and of dealing with young men. I've also spent a lot of time counseling young men and parents and children and parents' relationship to kind of strengthen that. So in that area, we've been trying to just develop a relationship with our young people and the community, and also their parents and the church.
And so the program that you're talking about now, that you've now developed, dealing with young people, is essentially an outgrowth of all of your experiences dealing with young people from a very, very early period up until now. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Well, things have changed. Times have changed. Young people have changed quite a bit. And now you need more structured programs to make sure that kids are reaching their full potential.
Good.
And that was one of the things that brought this program to my mind. I didn't want to just be a big brother, and I appreciate every program for our youth and our children, not just to mentor youth and children, but to have some hands-on experience and to do some things that would actually affect their everyday living, and things that will help their parents understand the children, and have the children, most importantly, understand what their parents are trying to tell them to do and get them to do. We're living in a time where if we don't do something, our kids every year are getting just a little bit more out of control. But I think that we have to now come up with a plan, come up with a program that's going to bring young people back in, especially young men, and especially African-American young men, because we don't want to lose a lot of young men. We're filling up juveniles, we're filling up prisoners, and we're filling up jails, and it's time that we fill up schools and we fill up lives.
And of course, Reverend Hayes, we've got about 5 or 6 seconds before the end of this segment, and when we come back, we'll give you an opportunity to talk about the program that you developed dealing with young gentlemen. Of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short. Thank you, and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Reverend Daniel M. Hayes from Gordon Memorial United Methodist Church, and the topic is young gentlemen, mentoring the young male. And of course, Reverend Hayes, let me give you an opportunity to sort of give our audience some information relative to this new concept that you have that is designed especially to mentor young men. I think you call it young gentlemen.
Right.
So let's talk about it from how that was a concept with you, and what inspired you to develop this and some of the elements of that particular program. One
of the thing that I guess inspired my mind was my years of work with young men, as they had continued to grow through athletics, through other avenues such as Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and also church-related activities. But as I've continued to watch young men, and today things are changing, and our young men of today and are getting into different areas of life, some that we wish that they would not get into. And so we want to kind of take a step back and go back to the old way that we used to respond to our adults, to our grandparents, to each other. So therefore, our United Methodist men of the Gordon Memorial Church in the year 2000. At that time, under the leadership of Brother John L. Fair, we had a United Methodist Men retreat, and we continue to have those retreats where we do our planning sessions each year. And during that particular retreat in the year 2000, I brought up the idea to the Methodist men of the church that we needed to start a program for our young men from the ages of 6 to 18. It was a program that was not just being a big brother, not just being a grandfather or a father, but to be a hands-on training program. It would be more of hands-on, watching everything they're doing, training them how to be, to be transformed from boys into men. That was the whole idea. The United Methodist Men at that time was overwhelming acceptance of the program, and we did get this program started. Some of the things that we want to do is make sure that our young men know how to address each other, to deal with anger management. You know, to teach us.
Is that a real problem among our young people? Anger?
And I think it is. You know, rather than want to fight it for everything, pull a knife or a gun for every incident, we have to teach our young men and even our young women how to walk away from incidents. It's not being a chump to walk away. It's not being soft to walk away. Sometimes to walk away gives you a good standard, because young folk are under different pressure today. When we were young, or when I was young, we could fight and live to see another day.
Make up.
Right, be friends, matter of fact, before the evening. But now it's such a competitive type thing. If you touch me, I got to get you until I hurt you. So certainly anger management is something that we have to do. Another thing that we want to do, Dr. Haney, is to make sure that as our kids go to school, they are not in school angry about every time the teacher says something to them. They got to learn, we got to be responsible for training our young men to say to all adults, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you. We want to get back to those little things that we think would change the inner person and to help self-esteem in all of our people to grow. So those are some of the things that we want to do, is to deal with anger. We also want to talk about violence on each other. This is something that should not be tolerated. We have to teach them there is another way of violence. We have to teach young men how to deal with young women. That you don't hit young women. We even want to go back to the point of having young men to open car doors for girls. We want to make sure that they are calling the parent when they want to take a young girl out, or they want to go to a movie or something like that, that the young man must learn to call the parent and get the parent's permission. Give a parent a telephone number. Give a parent address, so the parent would know who their child is out with. When I was younger, and when some of the other people in the group were younger, one of the things we used to do is if we went out with your daughter, we would call your house and not just ask the girl out, but we would tell the parent who we were, and then let them know, you know, we want to take your daughter out to such and such place, and is it all right with the parent? Because I think that when the parent understands what's going on, then I think you got a better situation altogether. So we want to deal with that also. We want to teach young men how to be able to go to a nice restaurant and eat a dinner with the certain utensils.
Okay, very good.
So those are some of the things we want to teach. We want to teach dress codes, not wearing your pants down, not having your shirt showing your body, even for young men. We want to teach young men to be the young men that we think that can move them forward in life. So,
and of course, this is why this whole concept of being a young gentleman, that this is some of the things that if they do that, they could be very, very successful.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Right. Right now we have, we have bars, and it's not just